Good morning, friends. Not a common broadcast for me to do, but I do have some in my playlist. Welcome to a mobile edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. Guys, I'm a retired New York City police detective with 20 plus years of law enforcement. If you like all things true crime related, from that police perspective, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. This morning, I'm just going to give you my reactions because I opened up my emails this morning, and I apologize to the chat because I can't, see it as I'm moving in motion. I'm looking straight ahead. This is just going to be my conversation with you guys this morning. Special thank you to the Patreon supporters, the channel members, and everybody who positively engages in all these live streams. So I woke up this morning, and thank you to the replay viewers. I know not a lot of people are going to watch this, but I wanted to put it out there because I woke up, there was like 20 plus emails in Crime Time with DutyRon up to the website, asking me, hey, DutyRon, what's your thoughts on the Jussie Smollett sentencing yesterday? And, we saw this unfold in a very tumultuous time in America, a staged hate crime by the actor from the TV show Empire, Jussie Smollett. He staged this whole thing. He was tried and found guilty. And then yesterday we saw him come into court late, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my time. And then it was all over the YouTube and on broadcast TV for a great part of the afternoon. It went on for hours. It was ridiculous. I mean, what he was afforded and those, people coming in and his brother, his grandmother, a bunch of people he worked with saying how great of a guy he is. What my takeaway from all of this is that he was sentenced to 150 days in prison, right? So that's 5 months. And then 30 months of felony probation. When you think of released felons, they usually go on parole here in New York, and if you're released or if you're sentenced to probation, it's usually for a misdemeanor crime. In Chicago, maybe they do it a little differently, but whatever the case may be, I feel like that if it was you or I staging this hate crime, talking about MAGA country, and 2 white guys poured bleach on him and put a noose around his neck, and we all saw the video of the police, the body cam footage of when the police responded to his apartment. He still had the freshly bought noose around his neck, and he staged this whole thing. And what I was particularly pissed off about is that he did a disservice to all of the groups and all of the activism that he has participated in the struggles with the LGBT community and African American community, as he spoke about, and all of his friends and colleagues spoke about all the good stuff that he's done. But he took it, in my opinion, 100 steps back with this selfish action just because he wanted to get a pay raise and he wanted attention. This is not the way you go about getting attention in this fashion. I'm trying to be nice about it. I'm trying to put this in a light. I'm giving it to you lightly. I'm being nice, is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be nice. I have a complete playlist on Jussie Smollett. A lot of actors and people who are on YouTube refer to him as Jussie Smollett. I don't refer to him as that, but that's how it's jokingly. I don't take this as a joke because this is serious business. He made a lot of allegations that were false and created. He hired and paid those 2 brothers from Africa that he had professional engagement with. He hired them to put on and stage this hoax, and he got caught. And the funny part about it is when he got caught, he still never admitted to it, and he carried on like a fool. He carried on like a fool in the courtroom. Once he was sentenced and he realized he wasn't getting his way, did anybody hear the judge call him a narcissist, and that he was trying to control all aspects of this proceeding. And again, I feel like if it was me as a retired police officer and detective, or if it was you as a regular civilian, I'm coming to a long light so I could look at the chat. If it was just us, the common folk, anybody, it doesn't matter what color you were, black, white, brown, anything. If we did this, we would not be afforded all of this airtime and attention. So I feel like he made a mockery of the system. A lot of comparisons, never owning up. This is where I have a huge problem, is that he never owned up to that he did something. Right to the end, as he was being dragged out to jail, to 5 months jail, he never once made an acknowledgement like, hey, I was wrong, and what I did, I'm very sorry for. It was all of the opposite. It was everybody, including his grandmother, saying how great of a person he is. None of those people, his brother included, or anybody, ever said, hey, he made a mistake. He did something really wrong, and we're really, really sorry. We have tremendous remorse for this. He has to pay restitution to the city of Chicago for the police investigation and all of that stuff. But I feel that if it was me or you, if it was us, that we did this and pulled this hoax off, we would be seeing a lot more jail time than 150 days. But now his suit and tie was removed. I have the picture of his mugshot picture. The suit and tie. I think he had just a shirt on, a white shirt. They made him take his tie off. But as he was being taken off from court, he was like, I'm not suicidal. I'm not this. I'm not that. And we even saw a written statement from Black Lives Matter, and at no time did that group at all help him take responsibility for what he did. They did the exact opposite. They doubled down on all the good stuff that he did. And I know those were statements that were supposed to try to help him, and I get the process. But again, it's, for me, my reaction, and thank you to everybody who has sent in requests for me to talk about this. I have a full playlist, which I'll link like in the description cards towards the end of this video. I'll link my full playlist on Jussie Smollett, and you could hear how I reacted when it was actually happening and going on. So I did cover this case. And thank you to the moderators. I will go back and review this video as well. You can always make comments and statements as long as they're respectable. If they're respectful and they're not, hurtful or nasty, I welcome all sides, everybody, whatever anybody and everybody thinks. But again, this was somebody who, for all accounts, he was sentenced to 30 months of felony probation plus it'll include that 150 days jail. So the 150 days plus the 30 months, it's all going to run concurrent. So they're going to give him credit, I believe, for the 150 days in jail towards the 30 months of felony probation for a hate crime that he reported in 2019. He was best known for his acting on the TV show Empire. So he was convicted in December to a bunch of counts of just buffoonery. I'm going to just say jagaloonism and buffoonery. So Jussie Smollett, again, some people will say, oh, they were very harsh on him. They made an example out of him. There are going to be people who say that. And I say this, no, he stirred the pot up at a time when things were very, very volatile. Race relations and things of that nature during 2019 and when he created this ridiculous hate crime and this whole scheme, he didn't do anything to help the African American community, the NAACP, as he is a part of, or the community, America at large, and the world for that matter. He took a bunch of steps backwards, in my opinion, and that's my opinion. He acted like a fool, acted like a jagaloon, and was putting himself and all of his needs and wants, like getting a pay raise and getting more acting jobs. He put himself and his own wants and needs and finances ahead of the world, of the United States first and foremost, and then the rest of the world. That's how I see it. He's a big old jagaloon. So he successfully created more division at that time. Again, I see it as just a selfish act of me. That he was not trying to help anybody but himself at the cost of race relations in America, and across the world. So I would have had just a little bit more respect. I'm able to see the chat a little bit now. I would have had a little bit more respect for Jussie Smollett and his camp and all of his dream team that he assembled, if they would have let him own up especially after he was convicted, after the jury found him guilty. I would have had more respect for the man. We have to be all about forgiveness, right? Forgiveness. We talk about that all the time. People make mistakes. You do your time, and then you move on. I would have had more forgiveness for this guy if he would have owned up, or anybody in his camp owned up for him at this hearing that we heard yesterday before he was sentenced. But we didn't see any of that. We saw a doubling down on arrogance, narcissistic behavior. He came to the freaking hearing. You come to your own sentencing late? Who does that? Who does that? A jagaloon. He's a jagaloon. If you want to add Jussie Smollett to all the jagaloons all over YouTube and all over the place, add Jussie Smollett to the jagaloon category. Who comes to their own hearing late with a whole entourage? That's just part of that's his thing. That's what he does. Everything has to be him walking with a whole bunch of people, holding on to arms. And, again, his fight and his struggles that he did in the past, and any good that he did, this erases it. Where was LeBron James and all of these big stars that came out and tweeted when he put this hoax up and was in his corner? Where are all these people? Why aren't they saying, hey, this guy, why aren't they saying some of the things of what I'm saying? This guy should be apologizing to the American people, should be apologizing to the court and the criminal justice system, should be apologizing to the cops and everybody in that community who he scared. He made a lot of people scared. And then where are all these actors? Where are all these people who tweeted about injustice against Jussie Smollett and the African-American community? Where are they? Why aren't they embarrassed by this fool and this buffoonery? They should be. I am. I'm embarrassed just being an American when you see stuff like that. So there's my 2 cents on it. Some people may not like what I have to say, but you asked for it, you got it, and this is my take on it. As a sensible, non-jagaloonish human being with life experience, I say that this guy should have been in jail for even longer than 5 months. I would have said to myself, if he went to jail for a year and then got 5 years of probation or more, felony probation, that would be good. You got to give this guy at least 5 years to be able to check in on him and make sure he's not doing any more jagaloonist bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, again, don't crucify the messenger. You guys asked for my opinion. And as I stated, it says in the title, my reaction to Jussie Smollett's sentencing. When he was carted off and he got that jail time, you saw how he just completely, the switch flipped. He had the audacity to tell the judge, I respect you. If you respected the judge in the courtroom, first and foremost, you would have been there on time. Second, you wouldn't have carried on like a little baby as you're being carried off, indicating that you're not suicidal. I mean, those are 2 things that stand right out, and we could probably pick apart a whole bunch more of disrespect by this guy. Carrying on like a fool during the course of this whole investigation, and leading the police on wild goose chases about 2 white guys wearing MAGA, saying this is MAGA country, perpetrating a false crime against him. I mean, the guy's a jagaloon. The guy's a jerk off. So, again, my opinions and my thoughts, I think a lot of us agree with it. There will be some that don't agree, and I understand. I get it. I respect everybody's opinions, but you know, if you as the common folk tried to pull something like this off and got caught, your ass would be fried with the maximum sentence under the penalty of law. And you know, people argue, and his attorneys argued that other people who have been guilty or convicted of this type of crime, not this crime per se, but this type of charge, that's the key. His attorneys argued that other people with the same charges have been not sentenced to jail. Well, guess what? You're talking about someone with public influence. You're talking about someone who is an actor, who look, children, or you know, people of all different walks of life looked up to this guy as an actor. You know, he was a movie star, right? Or you know, and people followed him, and he had quite a bit of fans and fanfare and a lot of influence on people. So let me look at the chat real quick. Dawn Marie's here. I see Denise Perez. Hi, Tara. Good to see you. Let me put my spectacles on so I could see you guys. Oh, okay, there's one tricky girl. I never heard of him until this. Go into my playlist right up here. I'm going to link it up here, a playlist. At this point, I'm going to hold my finger here, and those little cards will pop up. I'll include at this time of the video a little Jussie Smollett DutyRon. I have a playlist which I'll pin right up here so you guys can go and look at it. Make sure you leave me a comment down below in the comment section. I am wearing my Lost is Not Alone in the Gabby Petito Foundation. Gabby Petito's mom, I'm working on Nicole and Jim and maybe Joe Petito coming on to talk about the Gabby Petito Foundation fundraiser on April 3rd out in Long Island. It's a golf outing, and they want to come on and talk about the golf outing that they are running for their foundation, and they're helping domestic violence, folks that are fighting domestic violence, and also a lot of awareness, search groups and missing person groups. So they're doing a lot of good with the funds from the Gabby Petito Foundation, and I'm gonna try to get them to come on with us. I was talking to Nicole last night to get them to come on to promote it. It's in April, on April 3rd in Long Island, out in Hauppauge, I believe. So I have the flyers in my bag right here next to me. I'm going to be sending my check off because I am going to be attending with Joey Brooklyn. We will be at the Gabby Petito Foundation golf outing on April 3rd. And I will try to bring you at least an uploaded video. If there's a Wi-Fi connection, I'll try to go live and get some interviews with some people if they want to. And we'll talk about, you know, the good that Gabby Petito Foundation is doing in the name of their daughter. So that's it. Jussie Smollett sentenced 5 months in the pokey. He's now in prison, in a prison garb. You know, he's in his prison outfit. He is no longer getting 1,000, 2,000 thread cotton sheets. He is now having to deal with water bugs crawling around in the jail. He will probably not get sent up to state prison. He'll probably do his time locally. But let's see what happens to Jussie Smollett. Let's see what they do with him. If they do send him up to the state, maybe they will. I don't know. But wherever he goes, it's not going to be nice. And jail's not supposed to be nice. So he's going to get a dose of reality, and he's going to pay. He's going to pay with his time, and he's going to serve it. Let's see if he serves all 5 months. Let's see if this 5 months of Jussie Smollett incarceration goes. Or do you think, let me know in the comments if you think he'll get out after 2 months with good time. I don't know. I'm curious about that because I didn't look so far into the sentencing if he has to do those 5 months. Let's see how that goes. If he gets a little slap on the wrist, Jussie Smollett. All right, guys, a lot of love and respect. A lot of love and respect from my house to yours. Mods, thank you for being here. The judge really gave it to him good. The judge was awesome. I agree. He really laid it on the line. He gave him a dose of reality. He pulled Jussie Smollett into reality. He pulled him out of his fantasy world at the end. He let all of that all of the people speak. He was very good. He let everybody speak. He was respectful to all of the people who came on and gave their testimony about Jussie and how great of a guy he is or was. And then he really gave it to him good. All right, guys, watch the videos, give it a thumbs up. Watch my playlist on Jussie Smollett. Go over and check it out. I'll link it here and down below. Peace and love from DutyRon. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. And God bless each and every one of us here in the chat. But especially all victims of crime and their families across the globe. I'll be live later on tonight. If Ed Wallace is available, he'll be there. And we'll be taking in some live callers. We're going to take in a live call-in show tonight. We could talk about The Boys, Sincere and Classic. We could talk about a lot of things on our minds. Summer Wells. All things will be on the table. We're going to take some call-ins and it should be fun. Hope you'll be there probably around 9 o'clock tonight, Eastern time. Peace and love from DutyRon, and thank you for the super chats. I missed it. Susan King, shame on him, she says. Thank you for that super chat, and anybody else that I missed. Love and respect from DutyRon. Talk to you soon. Thank you.